Okay.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
First here, it says, what made you want to work in the field that you're working in, and how did you choose your career path? I chose my career path by complete happenstance. There was a professor out at Friends University who put me onto it in my senior year, and once I started, I thought it was a good idea and followed up on it. Why did I want to work in the field? Because I like to know what makes the world work, and I think lawyers tend to know how the world works above average.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. Describe your typical work week or work day. I work 5 or 6 days a week, and in my particular practice, it's rather high volume rather than low volume, and that's a certain disadvantage, of course. Some people do one thing all day long. They have a few big clients and they can spend hours on those big clients all day. I don't. I do 10 or 12 files a day, in and out, phone calls, letters, emails, and back and forth.
Okay.
So that's mine, and I think mine is somewhat typical of attorneys, and I think it's the lesser of the attorneys have the ability to work on just a few things at a time.
Okay.
What excites you most about your job? Something new every day. We have 6 lawyers in the office, and some of us are as old as I am, and we have literally hundreds of years of experience. Nevertheless, almost on a daily basis, certainly on a weekly basis, something new comes up. I mean, it is always different and often entertaining and enjoyable. Do you feel you make a difference on an impact on people? And if so, what specific area of our population do you affect? Because I'm general practice, I have people from the top to the bottom. And do I make a difference? Of course I do. Why? Because I give them good value for the service I provide. And people walk in here not without problems. They walk in with a problem, and I attempt to give them a solution that is better than they had before they came in.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone going down your career path, what would it be? Go into an office and work on a summer job or something. Get in there and see what it's like, and see if that's the kind of thing that interests you. It is fairly intense. It's fairly high pressure, and statistically, lawyers are depressed more than other professions. We have a lot of people's problems on their neck.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have a lot of deadlines, and they have a lot of opportunity to make mistakes on a daily basis, and you really have to stay on top of your game to survive.
Oh, I bet.
If you had an opportunity to do this again, what would I do differently? I think nothing. What personal qualities are really important to being successful? The ability to communicate. I mean, that's what we do. However we do it, we communicate. And you have to have a level of intelligence, but once you have that level, you need to be able to communicate and get along with people, both your clients and attorneys. How do you see your job changing? It has changed enormously since I've been in it. So it's like all jobs, we're computer oriented now. It used to be I would send a letter out, it would get there in a day. They would spend a day writing the letter, getting it, so I would have 3 or 4 days to figure out what to do with something that was brought to my attention. Now they'd like to have an answer in 20 minutes. And so the pressure is much greater than it was. You have to keep explaining, because I've got several other things going today. I haven't answered your question yet. Is there a time or person you've encountered that made you a difference in your life? The professor friends who sent me off to go to law school. Without him, I wouldn't have gone. I'm the first person to graduate from college in my family. I mean,
that's awesome.
We started
Congrats.
from scratch, and then we moved along. Why do you think your service is so valuable? Because people have so many problems and they need help at resolving them.
Yeah.
So that's my short version. If you want to follow up on anything, I'm happy to talk to you about it.
I don't know, you covered that really fast.
that is sometimes a benefit and sometimes a handicap. When you go into court and they have a transcriptionist taking all the words down, sometimes the transcriptionist signals saying that you're going too fast. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life right now.
Okay.
I argued a case in the Kansas Court of Appeals last week.
Okay.
And what does that mean? Well, you try the case in the district court, and then if somebody's not happy, they file an appeal.
Yeah.
I've been working on this case for a couple of years.
Wow.
And finally, it came up for argument in front of the Kansas Court of Appeals. And because the Court of Appeals has become inclined to be a court of the people, rather than me going to Topeka and going up to their fancy courtroom, they took us to Chanute, Kansas, and then we argued this on the stage in the auditorium in front of about 400 children. And that was a new experience for me. It was tempting to show the children how the court system works. You know,
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
We got here, and here they are. And today, ladies and gentlemen, you're not in the auditorium, you're in our courtroom.
Yeah.
And they were very attentive. I didn't hear a sound for that about 45 minutes that we were there arguing the case. So
That would be pretty interesting.
it is interesting, and I enjoy doing appellate work. Why? Because you're trying to move forward with the law and perhaps make some new law.
Okay.
If the law is completely settled, you probably won't appeal it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not settled, someone files an appeal, and all courts get reported.
Yeah.
There are different levels of reporting, but they're all created in a written form. So if someone's looking for a case like yours, they will be able to find it.
Hmm.
In the old days, you used a paper index. Now you put in word phrases that fit the kind of case you have, and it will pull up all the cases in.
So you can research on that.
You do research in state and then throughout the United States, and then if it's a crazy enough case, internationally.
Have you ever done an international?
I have not done an international case, but I've read cases where Kansas cited international law because it was such a unique area that there was no Kansas law and hardly any United States law.
Okay.
Now, one of the things I said just a moment ago in this long answer was that I've been working on this case for a couple of years. I don't like that. I don't like the lack of cause and effect.
Okay.
These things drag on a long time, sometimes maybe 3 years, 4 years, and I want something. I'm ready to finish this and move on.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you get a good cause and effect, but often you don't.
Okay.
And I think that's a mental disadvantage to the job.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the same thing. Well, not the same
thing,
thing,
but you're doing it on and on and on. You don't know. Here you have a question, and 4 years later, you haven't answered it.
Yeah, that would be frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
So, are you originally from Wichita?
I was I was born in Kentucky because my dad was a traveling salesman, and he dragged his family around. And then I was reared in Arkansas through age 10.
Okay.
And then at age 10, I was 1952. What was that? That was the middle of the Korean War. This town was hot, and people migrated to this town from Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and the place was humming, and that's how I got to Wichita. So I've been here since age 10.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Would you, at Friends University, did you ever consider any other degree? Or
I was doing a business degree.
Okay.
And got a business degree.
Okay.
But didn't know where I was going with it.
So then you were.
And this one person made the whole difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
He said another professor and I are going up to the law school at Washburn in a couple of weeks. Would you like to go with us?
Mm-hmm.
And just look around. And that was what started it all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you answered every question that I have.
See what good value I get for my time.
Yeah.